Try not to yawn.
Yeah, it is like 2 p.m. It's too early to be awake. Okay. Beacon. You can find the beacon. Is Momika looking for the beacon?
She is.
Nice. So, what I was thinking, wait, yeah, yesterday I played with Dating and I did this comment, is the fact that, okay, I understand the adversary event didn't feel so much like the Spotlight event that we got in February, right? Like, it was not much different than that. In that event, we pretty much got all emergencies, and that's about it.
Yes.
Which is kind of nice, but it does still feel like less than it should. Right, like an anniversary should be something bigger, etc. Now the question then is, what we want for the anniversary event, like what we would have liked to see. And I still can't figure it out, like, or at least I don't have an answer of what I would have liked for the anniversary event. Someone was commenting about gifts, because they were saying that anniversary is a birthday, so maybe we'll have something to do with gifts. But besides that, what do you think?
Can always offer past brilliant events.
That's a good idea, right? Like, remembering all things, it would have been good to get the all brilliant fundables. But the problem is that, okay, that is nice and that is fun for new players, but for people that actually got already the images, it is kind of not that fun, right? Like, just seeing the same brilliant events once again. How do you do something that is fun for new players and old players? Because, for example, for new players, I don't think adversaries are that much fun, because you pretty much can't kill them, right? Like, they are just hard.
20 seconds, Ando.
Okay. Who is there?
Kiro.
Hey, Kiro.
Hello.
Hi, girl.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I would have loved extra drops. Like, remember the poach event where we got keys from as drops, we got coins. What else did we got? Like potions? I don't remember.
Runestones.
Runestones. Yeah, but runestones are not like they were used to be. That it was like, oh, nice, a runestone, right? Because we were needing runestones. Now it's like, oh yeah, another runestone. Yeah, sure.
I saw somewhere a post on Waters.
Mm-hmm.
That they put in the code that there will be an opportunity, if you watch the commercials, that you will earn green books, data books, spell books, potions, or
Yeah.
a lot of things.
That has potential to be really good or really bad. I'm not sure which.
Well,
I mean, they do need to monetize the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's already monetized, to be honest.
Yeah, but not that much people spend money on the game, I think, right? And that's a reason of why they need to find other ways to get money from it.
Yeah, I mean, last year, they published how much money they earned from the 3 games. 1.5 billion.
Wow. Now the question is how much that comes from actually, Wizards Unite, because
Well,
Pokemon Go is, probably the biggest source of money. Pokemon Go is probably doing
Yeah.
more than 100 times what Wizards Unite is doing.
that's true. That's true.
So, kind of hard. I mean, the other thing is that, and we all noticed, right? Niantic was used to monetize this game by selling data of users, right? Like GPA's data. And I don't think there is a mystery on that. The problem is that with COVID, my data is me at home all the time. Like I don't think it is worth the data that they can sell as they were used to do it. If that makes sense.
Okay, so let's see, 99,900. Okay, so the max energy, the maximum gold is 19,999. Oh, so almost 2 billion. And if you do that with the gold, and how much is 150 coins? And you will see how much you need to spend real money to get your energy volts to 1 million.
I mean, but that's just ridiculous numbers.
That's almost. I think that someone put a math that it's equal to a new Ferrari.
Now, I guess what I would like to know is what do we want from the game at this point?
At this point, I think the new families, new foundables, probably new chambers and new foes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. For example, when we talk about having new founders, new families, etc. For example, we got adversaries, and adversaries were fine. They were fun, and now they are they just take too much time. They are not as fun because they are not a novelty, and I hate to say it, but how long have they been here? No more than 6 months.
Always something like that.
So if we are already bored, or there is a big player base that is already bored of something that was released 6 months ago, it's not being bored doesn't mean that you finish, right? I don't have all my pages at gold. I don't have all the green stars, etc. But that they are not as fun to do during events, to be out and just doing them, etc. Then what type of content do we want that will actually keep us motivated to play?
I mean, for the last adversary event, I had 2 pages on bronze. I got them to gold, but I spent almost 100 potents, 30 whip sharps, and 70 healing potions to do that. Now I'm brewing like crazy to get my potions to the same amount, so I can be prepared for the next event.
Yeah, no, but I mean I get that part. But how to say it is even if we get letters tomorrow, for example, if letters are harder than field adversaries, they will take longer. So they will be even more, that you need to be there and waiting to see what are you doing, which is not that much fun. Exactly. If we talk about having new pages, I think I am completely fine with having new pages. I think that is new content that they should release monthly, like one new page per month. But then we enter in a discussion that we were having before Friendcode. That is, well, what will happen when we have like 10 pages on a family? It's like, how I am going to get that fortress fragment?
Oh yeah.
It's already rough.
Like Legends of Hogwarts is already a hard page. Imagine one with 10, right, or 8.
I mean, it would be nice to put at least 5 new chambers and new folks.
And I mean, for example, if we get something new chambers, I think that's something that will be fun, just for the sake that playing Fortress is fun, right? Like, or at least for me, that is a type of content that I will be fine, and it can last kind of forever, because even when I am already done with read books or whatever, I still play Fortress just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I have done all those notes for the spell books. I'm almost on 6,000 spell books, and
Yeah, you're crazy. I don't play that much. So
You could always, they could inactivate the ones and occasionally turn those on for people that still don't have them.
But I think a solution for that is sort of the model that Pokemon Go used. That is like, these months we will have this generation, boosted, and the others can appear but really small. So you have some pages of each family that appears more during a specific month. So you know that month you want to work in the ones that you're missing. Because, for example, when the game started in Legends of Hogwarts, getting a young Harry was hard, right? And getting a young Hermione, while it was hard, it was the easy one from the Seviers. You were only having 2 Seviers. Now getting a young Hermione is just crazy hard. It's like, they don't appear. And that's because now the new Seviers, like Fred Weasley, George Weasley, Hermione, John Lupin, and John James Potter, they are more common. So something that it was easy to get before, now is like not that easy, or not that common.
I didn't see young Hermione from that boosted event last time.
There was an event with your Hermione, but it was the library event that it implied to you have a tag of where there is a library in your city. It was a very specific event that it was not good for all cities. Okay, I will leave the beaconing if I see someone comments that they want to look for the beacon. But I think we have people we can just play. We will not talk about the chamber, and we can talk about what to do with this game, like how to freaking improve the
What
game.
about the raid passes? But fortress passes.
Yeah, I think that's something that we need.
I mean,
100%.
it would be much better for them. Let's say, for example, if you to do the monthly subscription for $5, let's say you can invite your friends to play with you. You don't have to beacon, and let's say you have that month you have a energy vault expansion for 100 energy potions on 20 and ingredients, let's say 50 or 100.
Yeah, I will.
They did something similar in the US.
Yeah, I will pay from $5 to $10. I don't think I will pay more than 10, but 5 or 10 per month. I will be okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and enter a chamber, and we can keep talking right while we play.
I am looking, but I'm not.
You're still looking?
One.
Oh, okay. I was guessing that you were already on the bus. That's on me. let me go back to Beacon.
Hi, Pazuzu.
Oh yeah.
But again, even like having the fortress passes to play fortress with friends, that is a quality of life improvement, but it's not new content per se. If that makes sense, like not because now we can play with friends without having to beacon. We are actually having new content to do inside the game. We are still playing the same fortress chambers.
To me, it seems like it would be a good business decision because the more you're playing, the more chance that you'll give them revenue stream, whether it be in, going to get energy or buying energy or whatever. I don't know. Because this is a lot of waste. Can you imagine all the wasted time that we spend just sitting here in a chamber, not playing?
Maybe they can add some better rewards for winning the chamber.
Well, I meant for them. That's wasted game time. Possibly, you've got people in the actual game, but they're not engaged in anything that would produce any kind of a revenue stream.
Yeah, we are pretty much here sitting waiting for someone so we can then start playing.
And you're not supposed to be on the map, so...
And
I
guess this is a comment that I remember Taz saying once, and it's the fact of we do want to support the game, right? Like, it's not like I want to just give my money, but I do want to support the game. I do want to spend money sometimes for them to keep doing it, but they need to give me a good reason to spend the money. I will not just buy gold for buying gold. Like, for example, the silver keys is like, okay, we did buy silver keys when we got the dragon events, right? Like, a lot of people bought keys for dragon events. But once that is done, you can have a money grab that only lasts you one time for player, right? Like, I don't need to buy coins for that type of event anymore. So it has a lot to do with as Momik is saying, we should have a path that is like something that should keep us spending or wanting to be playing the game or engaging with the game constantly and monthly. Okay, let me reset the beacon account.
Okay, I think I don't have your beacon account.
We're all beaconing.
I mean, the Friendcode is there, right? Like you can add it.
Oh,
If you don't have it, that's on you.
Yeah, you're right. Wait, Pazuzu, you're on the bus?
of course I am. Second hit.
I mean, worst case, we are 5. We will end playing with 5, right? And in that case, we can just do whatever we want. Communications, no communications, who cares?
I mean, yeah, the new content would improve the game and bring people back to the game. That's one side of the story.
No, but again, what type of new content? Because I did hear from people that was, not playing, or that stopped playing, or that was about to stop playing. We got adversaries, they played them 1 week, and it was like, yeah, this is just not appealing enough. And they did left the game, and like really good players. So new content doesn't mean retention of players necessarily. It needs to be a specific type of new content that it keeps us engaged.
Yeah, but in that case, they can put official announcement on the forum and ask players what they want in the game.
Yeah, that works at halves. But for
They want PvP.
No, please, let's not put PvP on this.
That's what most of the people want. I don't want that.
I mean,
most of the people
but
want.
even if you have PvP, okay, let's talk about PvP. Let's say that they are PvP. Now, what will be
It's
PvP?
Wizards Unite, not
Huh?
Wizards Divide.
No, but okay. Let's say that you do have the option to play PvP. Okay, let's say that does happen. The question is, what kind of PvP do you want? Because a 1 versus 1 makes no sense on these games, because you can do the math. I don't have the math, but you can do the math and you can say, okay, this profession is always better against this one is always better against this one, and that's about it. So a 1 versus 1 will make sense in a PvP.
Maybe you could add Expelliarmus as a spell. You could just do it like a dual club or something, like in the
So
in the books or the movies, whatever.
now you give me an idea.
Now,
When it comes to the PvP.
because
Okay, so if they're gonna implement the PvP, in that case, you should have the ability as a player to pick 3 monsters, 3 foes, with whom you will be fighting the other player.
But is
And
that
for
is that actually how do you make it in a way that
That's too specific, I guess.
Yeah, I mean for the each chamber, you have a specific type of foes which you can choose.
but
But in that case, they should implement more foes.
I mean but let's talk about having more foes and chambers. That's something that we all want. But if we are talking about PvP, how do you do it in a way that it doesn't become the same thing over and over? Because that's kind of the fun of playing Fortress, right? Like every Fortress chamber is different than the last one.
Okay, so let's say for example in Dark 5, you can choose the 5-star monsters. In Dark 4, you can choose Dark 4-star monsters.
But is that
But you
PvP?
can't-
Is that player versus player?
Uh,
No, right? No, that's still PvE. That is still a player versus the environment.
You could add things like if someone takes an Extimulo and gets more power through that, you can make it that the other can take a counter potion or something, so that some things negate each other, so that you don't
Or you
become
can
a
do the-
god
or you-
in there if you just have enough money or
That will be a money grab,
You know
right?
what I
If you
mean?
have a PvP where you need to use potions, that is a money grab.
But for example, they can do the counter spell.
Like for example, something that I would like, that I think it will make the game a little more. I mean, it will be fun for me, I guess, but not necessarily for everyone. Is having something kind of like the Chamber of the Week or the Chambers of the Week, and then you can play a sequence of, let's say, 10 chambers in a row, but everyone will play the exact same 10 chambers when you're playing those chambers.
By the way, I'm on the bus.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, finally.
Do you want?
You see? I was cursing in myself, so probably that's why.
Okay,
Mhm.
we will enter in whatever order, and I will watch whatever you're doing. So, and Kiro is an hour, right? Please tell me that Kiro is an hour,
Yeah.
because I changed the professor. Like one of the issues of why speedruns are not a thing on Wizard Unite, or can't be a thing, is because we can't compare a chamber with another chamber, right?
Okay.
Uh, so
Are we playing the
to
thing or not the thing?
if you read the document, you know what you're doing. So you know, like,
Yeah, but I'm the last one, so
yeah, you know what you're doing. We're playing with the communications. We're not talking about the chamber. So yeah, one of the reasons of why we can't have like proper speedruns is because of that we can't compare a chamber with another one. So how do you solve that? Is the fact that you could have like a chamber of the week or a sequence of chambers that whenever you play, then you're playing the exact same force all the time. And I think the fun of that is more than just playing the chamber, is that you can study them and you can be like, okay, these were the force, and now I can do them again and again and see if I can do better. And then we can compare.
New stuff.
Yeah.
New stuff would probably be nice. That's one thing. That's for sure.
Now, ideally, the question is that just how to say it, a bragging right? Like you have a good time and you have fun with that. Do you have some benefits of having a good time? Like, how are you measuring this thing? Oh, that was fun.
I mean, the only way to find out which content they need in the game is to ask the players. Like some other games are doing it, and believe me, they are making a lot of money. For example, take the shooting game PUBG Mobile.
No, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I was getting worried about what you were going to say, but yeah, adding cosmetic things, I am 100% on it because they are not money grabs. You have the option to do them, you can decide not to do them, that's completely on you. Those are good options. And we go back to the topic of, if you try to have a new big game changer thing per month or every 3 months, that's impossible. Like you can't do things that fast. Like there is no one that can be developing that fast. So having two type of changes, core changes like adversaries, new fortress challenge, and also having cosmetic changes like decorations, whatever you want. That will keep the game alive because you can have those changes per month, or every 2 weeks you can add a new thing. I am not a big fan of microtransactions, but I think they can work. But I think it's not that different of what will happen with this new family that we're getting, right? Like the 1920 family, we are going to have a family that is Porky exclusive according to data mining, and it's like it will be fun. It will require walking. It will give a sense to Porkies for all players because right now you don't want all the other images. How much time that will keep us engaged with the game? Okay, I will start with these things.
Yeah, I don't know what that answer is until we actually see it and see how it plays out. Because if after 2 months we get to the same place we are with adversaries, which is like, all right, that was a cool thing, but now I'm not interested anymore.
I think an extra worry that I have about the new family is, are they going to do the same thing that they did with the baby beast? Like, if we're getting the family, are we going to get an event right away and then I am just going to burn all the keys that I have and I will be like, okay, now what? Like, I still don't understand that move. Like, why do you create new content after months without new content and then you just kill it, like, in one day? Because they did that. They killed the new page for a lot of players.
Yes, they did.
Like, I know people that how to say it, doesn't have other pages like normal pages at gold, but they do have that page at gold.
account has actually this page, the Baby Bees page on gold and nothing else.
Exactly. So
It's hilarious.
So I don't understand what they were wanting to do with that. Like what was the objective of?
Well, that might give a new player at least one goal page. But I don't know that a new player could do that. But yeah, you did, Pazuzu. You said you did.
I did what?
Getting the new page at gold with an account that is
Yes,
relatively new.
yes. And I played
Yeah.
2 accounts. No, I didn't.
Okay, so question, like Monica,
Yeah.
what do you put in the headsets before all cheers?
I knew you were gonna ask that. Well, because I just forgot. And you know, the first game, you have to give me that first game, right?
Sure. I mean, I think that the headsets before the cheers was weird, but what also found weirder was the dead headsets on that Elite Spider. I was like, what is? Okay. I feel like Monica is trying to make me talk about the chamber when I tune, so.
Oh, Monica, do you know what happened to me when I was playing a proc with Endo? I shield everyone, and I didn't put the proficiency. I said, okay, I'm gonna fix it, and Endo just said, he's gonna take the juice.
He actually took the juice? I can't imagine that.
Me? No, I don't do that.
It was emergency, so why not?
I mean, unless we are playing with 4 players. No, I won't think use in that case anyway. Like, we can win getting proficiency up later. I do think drink potions if we are, at the 3 minutes mark and we need to drink potions. And we're in that situation.
Okay, work with me, please.
The other thing is how the registry works here versus, for example, Pokemon Go. Because that's kind of the point of comparison for this game, right?
Yes.
Like you have a maximum number of Pokemon that you can have there, so you need to be deleting them, and you get new ones with hats, which is I think that's really stretching out like your lack of creativity of what can I put now on a game, right? Like it's like, okay, let's put the same thing but with a new hat. That just reminds me to The Simpsons and Barbie. But you can't do that here, right? I mean, you could. They do create like a new Luna with a Quidditch Luna that is not right now the Legends of Hogwarts Luna. But against the same problem is that the model that they are using is that you still have a Fortress Fund on all pages. If they take that away, maybe they can add new pages all the months, and I think it will work. And if not, they need to find a way to balance that part. Should I call my father for Father's Day? I think so, right?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I mean, he's just a capitalist, thingy. So yeah. So I could decide not to do it, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me think. Now, for example, if they add pets, would you like pets? Not pets. I think how are they called? Like animal companions?
Familiars?
Familiars. That thing.
Yes, I would do that.
Like that, would that be good enough as a new content to be happy with it?
No. It's a nice add-on, but I guess nothing further. If it doesn't give me any advantage in anything, if it's just a pet, fuck it.
Okay, now let's say that they do give you advantages. Let's say that, for
it's
example,
nice, but nah.
let's say that, for example, there is a variety of them that you can choose only one, and let's say that owls can go to inns every 1 hour that you can see and get you energy. Another ones give you more family mastery, more challenge XP, view time reduction, things like that.
I don't need it as a level 60 player.
Yeah, and you live in a
Most of the things. Nah.
I mean, the thing. What I am playing.
Actually, maybe they just need to add more levels. I guess that's what kept people playing.
Yeah, what I am trying to do now is the fact that okay, I am trying to put myself on the dev's mind and think like, okay, we need to have new content. What is that new content? What should it be? What should be a good enough new content that you can just rest after that? Like you release it and you rest for a while. It's like, okay, I am happy. We have this. It works.
The community should be busy for a while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That the community, as a community, is busy for a while. Because pretty much active games have released like every week, every month. Oh, okay, I am matched on this family. Or at least I have one that is matched. I still have the beacon account beacon, but I don't think there are people looking.
I think it's worth saying that one of the reasons why I would become disinterested would be the fact that you're spending a lot of effort on these other little events besides the brilliant events just to get 5 data books, and that's not.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, why?
It was making sense at one point.
Till they gave us a way to farm them with the adversaries. Now they're just as plentiful as the red books.
Yep. So
I mean, I would be. I wouldn't be playing if it wasn't for the KB and Discord.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Same here. Let me answer to Carly, but yes, Ultiboy is still on beacon.
Ooh, nasty.
Okay,
I
so
didn't talk about the chamber.
okay, so let's agree that okay, most of us, or at least the ones that we are playing here, it is mostly because neighbors, right? It's not because traces that much, right?
Come again?
That if we are still playing the game, it's not that much because of the traces, but because of the neighbors
Yes.
at this point.
But that's only because I'm on gold on every page.
So
I would
so if
still
you were
be
not on
interested-
gold,
I'd still be interested in traces if I didn't have everything on gold and starred.
okay, perfect. So if they were releasing new pages, you will still be interested in other things. Perfect.
Yes, I would.
Well, maybe if they changed gave us a platinum of each page.
Yeah, something like that would be nice, actually.
Again, the problem, I think, how to say it. If you think this game, like as it was originally, the game is really good developed. And what do I mean with this? For example, with placing images, right? At gold, you get 12 treasure trunks for placing 25, so you are getting a return of half the runestones that you're using, right? If we were having platinum, then we should be getting a bigger ratio of that. So eventually you could be playing like indefinitely without having to play any more traces. So it's how do you find a balance to add new things to the game? How do you... If you were saying to me, let's add platinum and on its page before Fragment Gate, I will be like, yeah, that sounds good. Actually, like that sounds really good. But if you do it now, then you need to rethink all the process of placing images and getting treasure trunks for placing images. And now it becomes a lot harder.
I mean, they did a good thing when they made it replaceable, kind of, with the counter.
Yeah, once you got over the initial
Yeah.
debacle with that caused.
Yeah, of course.
I remember deleting the game for a few days.
Yeah, I think they did us a little bit of a disservice doing that with the challenge registry. I mean, it may have needed to change some, but that drastic a change.
Yeah, they shouldn't have touched the challenge registry.
I don't think that was cool.
Like we need to have something to do. We need to have goals for the common days.
First they need to fix the bugs in the game, then
Yeah, bugs
we can
need to
talk
be,
about...
yeah.
Hey, Chana.
Get the flares right. Get the.
Oh yeah, the thing with the flares, it still bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, how can they be months without fixing the flares? I think that's just like, why?
I guess they didn't want to.
And when they fixed it, instead of fixing the actual flares to match what it should be, they made the new flares. They did it backwards.
But that was also because they changed how the difficulty of returning traces works, right? Like before the SS training, we were having three. How do you call the clock things? The hands, clock hands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What?
The clock hands, the hands on the clock. We had 3 of them. Now we've only got 2.
Yeah, the first one was referring to the initial points that you're having, and then you were having a minimum chance of returning and a maximum chance of returning.
Okay.
So when you use a potion, you knew that the minimum was moving and also the maximum was moving. So, for example, something now can have a 100% chance of returning, like if you do a masterful, but you were also having a 100% chance, or 95% chance if you were doing a fair. Now, you only move the last one. You can only move the maximum chance. You are not moving anymore the minimum chance of returning with the potions, which I think sucks, personally. And they are not clear about things that they are doing like that. Okay, who is getting so many earnings?
Actually, go away.
We can go to 4 for now, if not. Yeah, just go to 4. Chen, I don't know if you have Uxie Boy. I do have a beacon if you want to play. The Friendcode is in there. It's in the top left. What was I saying? What was I saying? I lost myself. Anyone remember what I was saying? No?
Yeah, kind of. No. Shit, I don't know. I can't remember. Okay. Yeah, but I feel like we can be discussing about what to do with the game, and you will see that the developers' work is not as easy as it looks. Like, we can complain a lot about that we want new things, but if you can't come up with a few good ideas that you will like and that you will not get bored, after 2 months, then it's kind of hard. Because we can't be asked. It's hard. Who said that it would be hard? I mean, yeah. It's exactly that. I can't think of anything that would keep me in the game other than the KB and playing with you guys.
Okay, by the way, I did have at one moment an idea about PvP that I told her to a friend, and she was like, yeah, but that has nothing to do with how the wizarding world works. I was like, yeah, well, that's maybe true, but it's what I can come up with. So, what was my idea? You can have a 5 versus 5, or 5 versus 5, like 5 players versus 5 players. And you have one player fighting at the time, like when you have the Pokemon battles, one Pokemon is fighting the other Pokemon, etc., right? So you only have one player fighting with another at the same time, but the other 4 players that are in the bench, quotes, they can be using their headsets and their charms. Which makes it a little harder, right? Because you could send, for example, a Magi fighting an Auror, and you will say, okay, so I can just put a protection charm on the Magi, now they are immortal, but the other team can use Confusion hits, and now I am not immortal anymore, and Aurors have a lot of defense breach. So realizing which one is a good combination to be fighting that way is not as easy as it looks.
Yep.
Like it still requires creativity. It still teamwork, because you are not just in a 1 versus 1.
It's more like tournament stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if people actually would like that.
The issue
because
will be
right now, only teams that already played with each other would like to do that.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be in a tournament with a stranger.
it's nothing for casual players.
That's completely true. Okay, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that's completely true. It can't be for casual players in that way. You could do it 3 versus 3 also, which is a little more accessible for casual players. But if you do a 1 versus 1, how the game works right now, that will not work. That will just be boring, right? Because we have like the way that we hit and the way that we use spells doesn't make much sense in playing a 1 versus 1. You will need to rechange a lot of things. Like you were saying, like having to use Expelliarmus and other things. And we'll be pretty much copying what Howard's Mystery is already doing. So it's like getting a new spell every week or something like that. And like it's like playing a rock, paper, scissors type of game at that point.
I want to add to the discussion that it's always going to be a comparison between Pogo and Wizards Unite. So if you add something like Familiars, it's going to be something like the body system, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go and reinvent the wheel, right? Like, you do it and using things that exist in other games and you just give it a twirl to have, you know, your own way to show it. It's not like you're creating something completely new out of nowhere. Like that's why, for example, I play a new game every 2 weeks, and I find okay, that mechanics I like it, or hey, I could use that information for something else. When you're analyzing games.
Oh, I know what would keep me playing. Something more of the story itself. Something. What is it? In your language, not in yours, Ando, obviously. The mystery section. That would be nice.
I feel like a comparison of something that we have someone that is not here. And since we only have 5 people playing at this moment, it's not like ideal. If someone is here on the chat, the beacon is there, by the way. I will go to 4. Okay, you don't have to add new people for now. Okay, let me start with the beacon once again. New story things.
Yeah, add the other or more mystery item things.
Yes.
That would be helpful.
I remember having this conversation with James, is that in the story right now we are spectators, right? Like we are not part of the story itself, we are just helpers.
Yes.
And that sort of creates a disconnection of not, you know, that the story is not that important. Like our actions are not changing the story or affecting the story. What would happen if our actions actually affected the story?
I hope that's true.
That would be nice. Like, remember Dragon events, the first one when we needed to do a certain number of of dragons, or porkies actually. And in that case, you can... we were gaining some boosts, right? Like dart detectors, brew potions, things like that.
Oh yeah, and you will fucked it up by choosing the fucking fireball.
Yeah, I was also mad about fireball.
I hated them all so much.
Yeah, I was also mad that they did fireball because that was China and I needed the other one. I needed the green one. Well, but my point is, well, what will happen if, for example, instead of just having the usual task that we are having, if we don't return a certain number of fundables during an event as a community, then the story change. Like, the threat level of the muggles finding what we're doing change. A more interactive story, sort of way.
Yeah, that would be nice, actually. But
So-
you can add that to any event in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
And but the events are the same over and over again. If you add it to the next and to the one after that and to the one after that, it just
Yeah, but it does.
And we could also,
Hmm?
as a short-term fix, they could also get us some more of those achievement things, because some of us have moved beyond a certain number of chambers. I mean, they could definitely do that.
yeah, but it would look like a temporary fix,
Yeah, but as you
Yeah,
progress in the game,
like
you would.
like the buddy system.
There was one brilliant event a couple of months ago where people didn't manage to finish them, and that was pretty much, they were pissed off because of that.
Because it was
It
too
was-
hard or something.
Yes, it was one of the tasks that they couldn't finish.
The masterful tasks.
The masterful.
Yes. And the forums are all over there complaining, I didn't finish that. That's the first brilliant event that I didn't finish while I'm playing the game from the beginning, blah 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 blah. So people were actually pissed, and they would do. I don't know, maybe some of the players would like to finish the event in 2 hours and they are done.
But that is a game mentality with this game versus other games, right? Like, we are used that every event should be doable. Which it doesn't happen in all games, right? Like, there are games that you have, like, step 1, you can complete it and it's not that hard. Step 2 is a little harder. And then maybe you have, like, step 4 or step 5 that is like, yeah, that is just for people that is playing a lot of time. And the rewards are better.
How many?
Yeah, but if it would be like if you can't finish the event this time, you will need the opportunity to finish it later. So it would be the same like Pogo, where it is a challenge to get the newest Pokemon, but after a while you just get it in the next egg or what the hell.
Okay, so Chana is saying that every event should be finishable up to the bonus. So my question is, and comparing with other games, for example, I do believe that the rewards that are, like the most important ones, like the green books, for example, everyone should be able to reach those with effort, but not that much effort. Like, they shouldn't be impossible.
Wait a second, Terran. Oh, Terran is gone. Terran, come back.
What happened?
I don't know. Kiro?
Now, about the bonus, the bonus, as long as the only change is cosmetic, for example, having a new title, I don't see a big...
Wait,
Huh?
Terran, thanks for saving my fucking life. I
I-
wanted to say that.
I don't know why.
Which you did, but I wasn't allowed to, so I wanted to say it now. No, go ahead, Ando. Thank you, Terran.
I don't know what happened here.
Terran knows.
I don't feel that problematic that we can't finish bonuses if the only difference is a cosmetic thing, like a title. Which now is the case, right? Because now the data books are not that important. But there was a moment where data books were like, yeah, not getting the 5 data books was kind of mandatory before adversaries.
What was mandatory before adversaries?
Doing bonus assignments on the brilliant events, like those 5 data books were the only data books that you were getting at all. So
Yes.
so it was not optional, like, ever. Yeah, Okay, so China is talking about the lack of spawns, and I feel like this is the reality of, for example, trading. I think lack of spawns is not that hard as long as we have tonics, but those tasks like pick up ingredients when you have nothing to produce an ingredient on the map.
Yeah.
That's even worse for people that is living like rural.
Yeah, like if I don't leave the house, I don't get to pick up an ingredient unless I'm really lucky in getting drift. But I can't count on that if I'm at home. Now, I'm lucky enough that I am in an area that I can leave if I so desire, without having to deal with lockdown.
Oh yeah. Like me.
Throw your ass in jail stuff, but and I don't have that terribly far to go if I need to go do something. It takes me about 15 minutes to get somewhere where I can actually pick up ingredients, pick up energy, spin ins, and whatnot.
Yeah,
there are people who have to go much farther than that.
And that's the other thing. For example, tonics doesn't fit adversaries, and you can't just have an easy way to get dark marks, right? You can't brew the edible dark marks.
Well, yeah, now they're starting to get used to, but they're only giving you one. And my drops of dark marks from adversaries has been abysmal in the last couple of weeks.
I am coming back in a moment because my lunch is here, and it's not like I can choose when they come.
Yeah, and spending money on the EDMs, that they're just completely and utterly overpriced for what you get or don't get.
There we are.
Now, it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic changes with lethals if the EDMs are going to be worth more than that. If they're going to give us more stuff for if we need the full 10 minutes in between adversaries to fight the adversaries.
Yeah, how long littles will take to fight? How much they will hit?
They may have the 10 minutes in there because it's going to take 9 to take down a lethal.
I mean, and there is a comment about that, is the fact that I think the data mining contains info about the wards on lethals, and I am not sure, but for example, the wards on Voldemort, they are like Narcissa or already lethal adversaries that we have, that we know take long.
Right. I think it's Voldemort has like 4 guards before you get to him.
Yeah, like
one of them has 4.
Yeah, that's the thing. I also don't want to have a fight of 20 minutes doing an adversary. Like if I decide to play Magin a Dragon, I am already taking like 8 minutes right now. So it's like I am not really about having to play 20 minutes for one adversary. And know that I need to do at least how much, like 80 of them to get the page at gold. Yeah, that's no. Yeah, no. Just no. Oh. Yeah, I think the solution for the EDMs for start is that they should be only 1 spawn per EDM, and it doesn't have a timer. It's like you use the EDM, you get a spawn, you return it, you use another one.
or they give you 4, or they give you one. Change it to the last 10 minutes of being empty. Give you one last one at the end.
Or have a counter, like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Just something.
Yeah, I mean, another thing, like let's think that, we have an adversary that, let's say, takes 15 minutes, and that you actually didn't get boring fighting 15 minutes the same exact team. How much energy that thing will use?
Yeah, and which profession will be the best against lethals?
I mean, the right answer will be outdoors if you had the potions, but the question is how many potions.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Actually, I'm drowning. I'm drowning in potent. And
yeah, but Pazuzu, your case is very far away from the normal player. And remember, whenever we are thinking these things, we shouldn't be thinking on my position or your position, right? Like we should be thinking on what is happening with the usual player, with the normal player.
Yeah, but who is a normal player?
Yeah, I don't know who a normal player is because the people that I play with are all the same place I'm at.
Yeah.
Think most people have spent at most $25 on the game, let's say, and they have a potion capacity of that is not higher than 200. And 200 is already a lot for a lot of players. So that's the position that you need to put yourself in. Oh, interesting. Because if we just put ourselves in a position that, we just use potions, is like, what do you do with and even then, what do you do with the new players that don't even have the SOS training finish? Like they don't have the green books.
I don't have the green books.
No, but not the SOS, the adversary advanced combat thing. I don't know how it's called.
Oh, okay, yes, I see where it is.
Oh.
The full
lesson plan.
The full tree, yeah, the full tree.
Oh boy, this lobby. I don't know. I know I don't need to talk about the lobby, but wow.
Yeah. I won't go elsewhere. Yeah, I'm not supposed to talk about that, so.
Yeah, but I saw it. I was like, wow. By the way, Carly's on the boss.
And another one. Fuck.
Carly's on the boss, so let's play Carly play out or in the next one.
If you want to, yeah, but the professor is taking too long to max.
Yeah, the professor takes twice as long to do as doing two of the others.
Yeah, you need 4 months for Aura and you need 4 months for Magic.
You don't need 4 months for Aura.
Yeah,
It's
well, you
great.
Yeah, it's like three and a half. Yeah.
For all your greens.
120.
It's 115 versus 230.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
need 7 months.
I do have a solution
Max drop.
that I posted at James today with his question of the day for the anniversary. Is like, what new thing I want on the game? I want something that keeps new players wanting to play the game, and for that, I would like that they can use some sort of pensive to watch the memories of all brilliant events and finish them. Even if they need to pay 500 coins to use it, right? But you know that eventually everyone can have the same number of green books.
No, that would be nice.
Like, I don't like the fact that if someone makes an account today, they will never be able to catch up with the old players.
Yes, that's true.
That's true. Those are in advantage.
Because you end with the discussion of, if I get a new player, they ask me what profession they should play. It's like, I can't recommend Professor to anyone, and it's like, Professor is super fun to play in Fortress, but you know, like no, like.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, talking about the game.
Exactly. You can start playing like a while ago. Now, the only good thing is that if you only concentrate in one profession, you can have it ready in 4 months, including the adversary part. But that means doing nothing with SOS training, which is also not ideal now. So.
Actually, that would be a very, very fucking good idea. That's nothing for us, players like us, but actually would give new players a will to live or something.
Yeah. I mean, as an old player, it does help me because now we have more players that can play with me, right? Like can play with us.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be in a situation where I can only play with all players. Oh, okay. So this is something that I tackled with a lot of people for a while. Before SOS training, that they were like, okay, we're going to get the second plan for our professions. So which will be saving green books. I don't know why are you creating 3 professions, which will be saving green books, etc. And then it's like, okay, I didn't save my green books. I spent them. You did save them all your green books. I know there are people like with 400 green books saved, right? Like, that they haven't done SOS training because they are already masked. They were level 60 by the time that SOS training appeared, and they only have 1 profession, usually Auror.
Okay, and they only needed like 15 for the second lesson plan.
Exactly. So they have the books. Okay, there is Carly, and now let's get Monica. So let's say that tomorrow we do get second lesson plans that is about fortressing, and it does ask for a lot of green books. With which people are you going to play? Like, who is going to like? We can't discover the new things together because you will be, finished with your profession, and I will be like just trying to do it step by step. So it's kind of hard in that way to choose or to decide should I spend or not. If I don't spend green books, then it will create a gap when we do get new things. Which is not the same gap of someone that is playing a lot and then someone that is not, because we notice from the how is called from the elites, right? Like if we get a new player that doesn't have the elite, it's just about like, yeah, let's play together for a while, and we will get you your elites, and you will be fine. Like we can sort that out. But do you imagine that being 4 months ahead, if we get new second lesson plans and someone is with 300 green books and the rest is with nothing? Or even 10 months ahead. Let's say that they have 300 green books. That will make finding teams on the night was really, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
No. Ew, focus bug. I hate it. It's not exactly about the chamber, right? It's just me having a focus bug. That doesn't give you any info.
No, except that there's a hanging focus somewhere.
Yeah, I have a hanging focus somewhere. Oh, by the way, my legs are still showing, but I am not complaining like yesterday.
Yeah, now go slower.
Yeah, yesterday was like, I didn't want anything anymore.
I'm gonna be back. Or maybe not.
What 15 minutes of exercise can do to you? Oh my god. Oh. Things to get more. I mean, I still think they should have something like the how is called the Pokemon Go Plus. That's how it calls the thing that you put in your arm to spin the Pokestops.
Yes.
We should have like a golden snitch or something that we can use to spin ins. like seriously, like I will pay for that because when you are, for example, on the bus or when you're walking, it is kind of dangerous. Maybe not in Europe, right? Like you are in a first world country, but for the rest of the people, it is kind of dangerous being with your phone outside trying to reach while you're walking. I am not even asking that thing return traces, right? I am just asking spin dates, nothing else. And okay, let's say that it is true. We don't have a player base big enough that it will be a good idea for them to do it in matters of money. But maybe, just maybe, they can just create a licensor for someone else to do it. And you pay like for developing the product, and then we can all be happy and we can all play with that. Now, why do I think it should only spin ins and not return traces is because in Pokemon, the fact that returns that get you Pokemons, you do have a limited number of Pokemons that you can get. Here, traces are unlimited, right? So you could really end up with a stopping number of treasure trunks and family XP just by walking on the street. I don't know. This game is something else. Okay, now everyone is quiet.
Actually, I was muted.
Oh yeah, you were muted. I don't know. There are so many ideas. The question is, do we have enough players for them to be good ideas for them? Like, for example, could we have a mini game about collecting the frog cards or how they are colored?
I don't know.
About what now?
Inside the Harry Potter universe.
Chocolate frog first.
Yeah, someone else can explain better than me.
Give us something to collect, like chocolate frog, like the cards inside chocolate frogs.
Well, that'd be cute.
No, same thing as familiar.
Why? I mean, the idea with
Hey,
those.
I'm just talking
Okay,
from
okay. Now I guess Pasosu join and Kiro waits, so Carly can
my...
play.
Oh, I'm in another chamber.
Okay. Then yeah, don't worry.
I will come out. Pazuzu, you can come in.
Joining now.
I mean, but and I go back to my point. We need something in the game that is a little cosmetic. So whenever they want to introduce new things to keep us engaged or having fun, they don't have to do core changes all the time. Like frog chocolate cards or avatar customization. They need something so that you can feel that you have new content every month. And once every 3 months, 6 months, they can do a big change and have something like adversaries, something like new professions, something like that. You need something to pursue in a game, like to have a goal. Sure, let's go there. Now, for example, sort of stupid idea is have anyone play Ingress?
No.
So in Ingress, you can go back to level 1, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, I was playing English if you're asking for that.
Yeah, so in Ingress, you can go back to level 1. Once you reach max level, you can go back to level 1 and then...
Yes, it's called recursing.
Yeah, so now in Ingress, it doesn't have any effect on yourself besides the fact that you are back to level 1. Like, you have no benefits from it.
No, just collecting the XP or
Yeah.
AP.
Yeah,
Accumulated points.
It is a very bragging system, Ingress, to be honest, in that way. But let's say that once you reach level 60, or once you reach level 60, you can go back to level 1 and win something in the process that will keep the game going forever, pretty much.
I actually thought about that, how to reset, how it would be to reset the game.
They will need to give you back green books, and I will say that's about it. Like, because that's the only currency that is not.
Actually, I would like that to spend my green books another way. So reset everything and just be able to. Oh shit.
Like, let's go back to level 1 and they give you 15 green books for going back to level 1. That will be addictive.
Nah.
Or
Just reset everything but have everything.
Huh? What thing?
Just reset everything but have everything. So that I can spend it another way.
I guess I understand what you mean, but
Yeah, sorry, I'm not a native speaker.
yeah, no, but I am talking about going back to level 1, so you are doing all your road to level 60 again, right? Because we know that a lot of players that already reach level 60 are making second accounts, which we will not discuss if it is okay or not. Like we know that Niantic doesn't care. Like, there is a person playing with like 40 devices on Japan playing Pokemon Go, so they don't care about multi-accounts. Let's say they are making second accounts, so you can be playing something, you can be feeling the thrill of completing pages again, etc. So there is something in there, right, about wanting to have something to do. Can we have that in our own accounts in some way?
Yeah, it's possible.
Like, I insist, I wouldn't do it just because of bragging rights and know how many times I have done it. Because if I am going back to level 1 and I am going to struggle once again about how to return traces because they were hard at level 1. I mean, they are hard until like level 25, level 30, to be honest. Right? Like, they are hard until then. We need to get something in return. Yeah, I think at least I will want to reset the green books, like and to be able to spend them in another way. I
mean, if they put the green books as a reward for completing the level, yes, in that case I would recurse even 5 times in a row to get to the level 60 again.
I will do it.
No.
For example, another option that I was having in my mind, but this was before Fragment Gate, when wanting XP and things was kind of a thing. Oh, I am playing. Oh, it is again. My mistake. Was so right now we have level 1 to level 5 runstones, but the code does contain level 10 runstones. Even more, there was a person in Reddit that got a level 7 brilliant runestone. No one knows how, but they have it. Yeah. Later there is a picture and Faces ask about it. They send the account and Faces say like, we don't know how that happened. Enjoy it. Don't spend it. Get it as a souvenir. And if I am mentioning Faces, this means this is a while ago, right?
is playing.
Oh yeah. I should enter. Remember, yeah, we are not entering in order. Sure. Now it should be Kiro, right? And I am still beginning, by the way. Like the beacon exists. So maybe you do that, and then you were getting, instead of level 1 to level 5 runestone, your minimum level of runestone was 2 to 6 or something like that. So you can go back to level 1 5 times until you have runestone from level 6 to level 10. Now that was making sense back then, but right now it's like, I don't know if I want higher level runestones that much. It was making sense because having level 10 runestones will be like receiving 21 fragments, and since we were near like 1800, it was something that I wanted, like that I would like to have.
Oh, what I just remembered was I'd like to be able to switch things with others, like give you all my unicorn hair and what is it? A boss? It's Berser. And
hey, it seems that we are playing with 3 professors because no one else entered. Like we were waiting for puzzles or what.
Why were you waiting? You said to me, never mind. You said Kiro was playing.
Yeah, Kiro Pazuzu, and Carly already played too, so she was sitting.
I didn't know about that.
Okay.
And now I'm on the map.
And now we have 3 professors.
I think Yoshiboi is still beaconing.
Yeah, Uxibo is still beaconing.
So what about something like that?
Like what? Repeat yourself. I have a short memory.
I don't know how to say it right. If I have unicorn hair, like too much unicorn hair, and you need it, you can.
Oh, trading
trade.
resources.
Trading, yes, of course.
Yeah,
Trading resources. Yes.
that would be kind of nice.
Yes, because in English, if I have too many items, I can put them in capsule and drop the capsule, and the other player will pick it.
So I'm back. Funny.
So now.
No, I thought so.
So do we trade resources like 1 to 1? Do we trade resources in another way? That's our question to solve there, right?
No, you can. Well, I know when we are.
Yeah, I know that in English is putting the resources in the floor and someone else can pick them. I understand that part. Now, do we want to just trade resources like locally with people that we can meet? Do we want to do it with everyone? So, you have a lot of questions there to answer. Okay, everyone has a thing. Okay, creating custom gifts. I like that one. So we will need an extra type of resource to put things inside the gifts. I am guessing. I'm guessing. Yeah, I will take that one. So what resources because one option is paying coins to create a gift, which is sort of, it does work, right? Like
That would be fun if they would like release those kinds of things in a limited edition, like around the holidays, and you'd like to give somebody something, but make it a special thing, not just all the time.
Yeah, like
That could work. Yeah.
yeah, like during the week of, how is called, like December, like during Christmas, whenever you return a trace, you get a crafting material, and once you have like 5, you can create a gift with, I don't know, up to 5 items that you can send, ingredients, potions, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be fun. Because you are not just, helping your friends, you are also being encouraged to do traces to help your friends.
And like you did in school, you actually can trade fragments. That would be nice too, because some people never have seen the swooping evil ever.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, the concept of trading fragments, because I mean, I am trying to remember the lore of the game.
I had like those I don't know if you know that Panini or something.
Yeah.
Those pictures you put it into a book and you never got the right ones.
Yeah, an album.
I just remember that.
An album. So the question with the is the registry like an album?
I mean, yes.
I know
it's like an album.
It looks like an album. The question is, it is like an album, like, inside the logic of the game? If that makes sense as a question. Like, does it make sense to trade fragments?
I mean, it's just something that came to my mind because some people, like a one-time thing or a two-time thing.
That might be
the idea of
now.
The idea of Monica is kind of nice to do it like on a special occasion, like when it's Sir Harry's birthday or what the fuck.
Okay, I have an idea for that. So what about you return a trace, you can get a gift, and when you send that gift, the person gets an encounter with that trace.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with that is about gift capacity, so you will need to have a different gift capacity for those type of gifts, because if not, you're going to get like full, or you are going to get a gift about a super evil, but you were matched gifts, and you were going to be like, damn it, like, like with gold gifts. So I will want a separate type of gift capacity for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that would be
folks
fun.
in Orange Serpent Locked would appreciate that no end.
You could also do that for players, or you could do some kind of a redemption for players to catch up, on things that they missed.
Look who finds us.
Like
We have Chinchi.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce out so that.
No, now we have another Magi. I was happy with those two Magis.
We were happy with those two Magis. Normally you're not happy with two Magis.
No, but we're playing with the communication, so who cares?
It is.
When you're playing with the communication...
Beaconing for me.
The beacon for you? Okay.
Hey, the beacon account is in range 2, right? So you can...
Sorry.
Yeah,
there's two.
The only one I find in Ruins 2 is Show. Third time now.
Endo,
Well,
how many
there's two.
more death hexes you are getting if you're playing with two mages with no shield? Not more than 2 death hexes.
You're getting -3. That's the right answer. Okay. So okay. Let's take away, the fun in that. So, if you have a professor, that is 4 initial focus plus 20 from the chamber. That's 24 focus. So you divide that by 3. That is how a death hex costs. You have 8 death hexes in there. So, by taking away a professor, you are taking away 8 death hexes and putting the magi in. Let's say that you are not shielding anyone. You are not doing any shields, right? And you have 5 players. So, you are still missing 3 death hexes. That's my point. Like you are still, even if you don't shield anyone, you are still having 3 death hexes less. Now, you could argue, and this is true, that since by not shielding, you are starting to put death hexes in more early foes, maybe you could end having the same number of death hexes. Because one thing that will happen when you're playing with only one magi is that the first 5 foes doesn't get a death hex because we are still putting up shields and proficiency.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Okay, I will be back in a moment. I need a small bio break, but I can play my part muted, right? So.
I don't want to know anything about that.
As long as he's muted, we're good.
What are you talking about? I got lost.
Summer vacations.
Oh, okay, that thing. Oh yeah, I am having vacations in July, from July to August. So that way I will be playing more chambers per week.
Oh, you can take my shift then.
Yeah, that's not happening. Like I am not taking training sessions. I will be playing more. It's a different thing.
I'll be off for a week in the end of July to go up and visit the husband in Vermont for a few days. He's done all this traveling down here. It's time for me to go back up there.
Now, the thing with the Kiro about the two magis is that by not having chills, doing partials is kind of an issue. Like, you can't send an order to take a partial without a chill. I mean, you can, but no.
Yeah,
But
you
no,
like
but no, yeah, exactly. And the same thing with the magi, right? For example, when I play with two magis, what I do is that I chill one magi, so that magi is in charge of helping with partials to the to the professor. Which implies at some point is that magi is spending more energy because you're spending less time on the lobby. Like fighting a werewolf takes a lot of time anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So what is that you're trading? For example, I wouldn't trade the chills because that take away the helping with partials, but if I will decide to make a strategy for two magis, I will take away headses to compensate. For example, if you are getting more heals, now you don't need to distribute like, okay, each foe needs to hit 28% stamina or less, you know, how we're doing with one magi. You will say, okay, 40% stamina or less. I don't know the number. Like you can do that. You can check that later with the math. But that will end with different heads on professor foes and outer foes. If you want to still keep it without feints. If you don't care about feints, you could just decide to not even hit the 5-star the Dieter, and that's on you, right? But there is kind of a I don't know if it's not like there is a question in there that is like, why are we playing Fortress? Are we playing Fortress to get red books, or are we playing Fortress because playing Fortress is fun? At some point I was playing Fortress for the red books, but right now I don't need more red books, so I play Fortress just because it's fun, right?
You don't know if you ever need red books again. My trading system is coming. I hear about that.
What thing?
Nah, nothing.
Are we staying
Yeah, like
in
for
this?
good, you need a
Yeah,
I
let's
don't
just play it.
know.
Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
You don't have them enough.
No, I mean,
No.
it doesn't matter. Like, if you are matter right now, like, you don't need more red books right now. Maybe they will put new things later, but there is not much point on thinking on that right away. Okay, I just saw the other hour putting a confusion heads and a restart. That wizard. I don't like that. Anyway.
You're talking about the game.
Oh, no, I was just commenting about what that hour that we don't know is doing.
Actually, that would be nice. A peak, something like a peak option or something to just see the game that's going on, see the chamber, what is happening in there.
Oh.
Or I found show again for the 5th time.
I mean, I will be happy with having a focus counter while you're fighting a foe. With that, I am, that's good enough for me. Like, at the top of the bottom thing, just put how many focus do we have right now, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually meant a peak function like from the outside.
Oh, that's a neat.
I get your point.
Or even a list of foes.
But like before that? Like before the chamber?
Like in the foes in
Also
the
in
chamber now.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like
But there is a point right there, going back with the two magis, is that if you are not doing chips and you're not helping with purchase, you are actually spending less energy than playing the way we're playing. Or as a magi at least, right? Because you are spending less time fighting. Hey, I think it's an interesting topic, like the different team compositions. Wow.
Yeah, you are spending less energy.
If you are not fighting, right? You are spending less energy because you are not helping, because you are spending more time on the lobby. Not because you should be spending less energy. And that's part of my point. When I do play two magis, that doesn't happen very often. I go and take a full stamina wolf and I tell the professor, hey, put a dead head in there, get me a confusion, and I will fight it until it dies. And in that case, I am spending more energy than even playing with one magi. It depends on how you play it. Like, it's not like a decision so easy to say, like, this team composition spend less energy. It's about what strategy are you playing when you're playing a team composition.
Yeah, but the question is, what do you want from that team composition? Do you want the speed, less energy, or something else?
Exactly. Okay. So that's where I was going with the what is the objective of playing Fortress? If the objective is merely getting more red books, then maybe you don't want to optimize, spending as less energy as possible so you can play as long as possible. And in those cases, maybe you want to put more dead hits and, use like what Disney was calling about, just let people die 13 times if you're playing with one magi only, for example, and don't heal anyone and just revive. And that does make sense if you're just wanting for red books. And assuming that the energy is the issue. For example, when we were playing in person, the energy was not the issue because we were having insta to recharge energy. So the issue was how do we put as many chambers as we can in a small window of time. So the objective was, let's play as fast as we can. And in that case, is you can end spending 1-2 more energy per chamber, but if you're going faster, then that is what is giving you the more red books. And that's where the discussion ends, right? Like, what is your objective by playing? If your objective is not red books, if your objective is just having fun, the question then is, what is fun for you? For example, if you ask me if I find fun dying a lot of times as an author, I will say no. But not all authors share my same opinion about that. Like, there are people that don't care about feints. So before saying this strategy is better, or you need to say, okay, which one are the objectives that I want to have with the strategy that we're playing. Like, you don't create a strategy and then define objectives. You define objectives, and based on that, you create your strategy. I really need to be checking the time in another place. I mean, I understand why Apple put the 9:41 in the top left corner, but it's so annoying if I want to just play 2 hours. Okay, I think I need you as a magic step because I saw Andrea beaconing in Ruin Street.
Well, I can come back.
Yes.
Unless you really want to play Naji. I've seen Miss Pepsi hanging around down there in the Ruins Chambers too.
I mean, she can come and play if she wants to. We have like 15 more minutes
dressed
on
in
there,
her-
so, or 10.
Dressed in her Naji clothes. Nova D-Star? No.
Okay. Let's go to 4. But I do want hours, right? Like, where are my hours?
I'm just searching for the fucking boss.
Okay, where is Carly and Kyo then?
We are just here.
Okay, if not, we are going to be taking. Okay, there is Carly. Yeah, I remember when the Nibus came up in the small places that we just discussed, like strategy and things like that. That was a big discussion. Before Nibus, since we were playing in person, the main optimizer was time, because energy you can recharge from inns. Okay. After Nibus, a lot of people want to optimize energy instead of optimizing time, because, well, you can't play a lot of time if your energy goes out. Nowadays, I do have a big energy capacity, so I don't care anymore. Bye, Chana. Thanks for hanging out. So, I guess it still depends on the player. If the objective was to just win, not talk about the chamber, and talk about life, and don't worry, maybe 2 magics is even better because there is a lot less stress for every player. Because let's be honest, I don't see us losing that fight as long as everyone is playing decently. Like, not good, just decently. When was the last time that someone lost other fight with 5 players?
Today.
Depends on
If you played with randoms, yeah.
Of course I did. But the interesting thing about that is we actually tried to win it like all of us.
I mean, I can understand that it still can happen if the Magi or the single profession doesn't know about doing partials.
They didn't.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing that can happen nowadays. Like, that is still like not a basic skill sort of way. That is essential.
Mm-hmm. So our professors were dying over and over, and the Magi, show again. And the Magi couldn't get his foes done. So yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I remember you still have... that's the other thing, you have the opposite case. Sometimes is someone doing partials because yes, even when you don't need to. Like they learn the magic, they learn the magic, word of doing partials, and they just keep doing partials because they are fun to do. And it's like everyone else is fighting, but they are just doing their partials. Like you have two of your profession and you're doing partials, and it's like, yeah, I mean, no, please, no, keep your foes. That's the opposite case.
Actually, I didn't experience something like that, like ever. I mean, too many partials, yes, but usually you can tell your Magi to fucking kill them. So.
Oh. But for example, I don't think even outers that only do double hits and everything, they are not that bad because at least you have hits. You are losing having dead hits, right? But those are not essential to win a chamber by any means.
Why do most of the auras think that the confusion is the better hex for everything?
Especially if you're maxed both on a 5-star pixie.
Yes.
Okay, let's be honest. A professor doesn't necessarily knows the abilities. I mean, another doesn't necessarily knows the abilities of a professor. Now, even more, a professor doesn't necessarily knows the ability of a professor. Like you can say on sabbatical, and not every professor knows what it means.
Yes.
So, having outers putting confusion hits on 5-star pitches, it doesn't surprise me, and I don't think it's just a scene, like a really big scene. I just get it like as a thing that it will happen because the game is not very helpful on learning about the other professions if you only have one.
I mean, okay, the pixie is having a hex, so yeah, it will hurt you less. But when the aura puts the confusion on a spider, what about now? What about then?
The stats of the the stats of the foe, we know them from data mining, but they are not clear in game to know that a 3-star airline is 25%, a 4-star airline is 40%, a 5-star airline is 60% dodge. There is nothing in game that tells us about that. So someone that doesn't know Facebook, that doesn't know Discord, that doesn't know Reddit, there is no way that they can assume that the confusion hits is not helping. I do like to complain, but I understand that it's just a thing.
I'm finally back.
Okay.
For the last chamber or something?
I mean, we're playing kind of the last. We can play an extra one, so that look was not in.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, okay, we'll do. But now and here comes the question about that topic, right? Like, okay, we have others putting confusion heads on spiders, we have others putting confusion heads on the teethers, and we can say that is because the game is not helpful about knowing if they need it or not, or if it is helpful or not. So, how does the game fix that? Like, does the game be? I think the solution is that the game should be more transparent about the stats on things. But besides that, some people say maybe the game should teach you how to play in a group, and it's like that is like walking on eggshells because there are so many ways to play this game or to play Fortress that how do you say this is the one that they should be teaching? Like take infographics for example, like when we got the night boss, we got some really nice infographics from Orange Wizard that I hope he's doing okay. And one of them was about the Magi and was about that it was saying cast baby at 7 focus. And a lot of players, we don't do that, like we wait until 11, 12 focus. So how do you take an advice and you just go and say, yeah, this is what we will recommend, like officially?
That information I think you won't get from the game.
Exactly. So what I think we should get from the game are stats from the foes. Like the game should tell us how much defense a 4-star werewolf has. And they can do it in fun ways, like maybe defeat 100 werewolves, and then you will gain enough knowledge to know the stats of a werewolf. Like I don't care if they do it that way. I don't care if we need to defeat a number to get stats, to get information. That will make it fun. But that information should be public at some point. Like how much dodge Narcissa has.
Enough to make me grumpy.
Like, and
A fucking lot, yes.
And if we are fighting against a memory or something like that, if I have the page at goal and I have returned enough Narcissas, should she dodge me less because now I am an expert at returning Narcissas?
She dodges me less now because I don't play with her anymore.
Yeah, you reach the phase 2 only.
I don't even do that anymore. I see that guy and I run.
Yeah, but
no.
But you get my point, right? Like I mean, if you read like terms of service from Niantic, for example, using data mining goes against terms of service because it's altering the product, etc. Like, but if they don't want us to be doing that, please then give us the info. Like let me know what I need to know so we can do things about how we want to play the game.
Yeah, I did notice the nonchalant way they mentioned, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, WW1920 is happening in July. No fanfare, just oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah, it was like a small thing, like the last paragraph. For them, the important part was that they changed the anniversary event. It's like, yeah, you should have a separate post for 1920. Like, be smart about it.
Yeah, and there's been some conversation that they probably were ready to do this a couple of months ago, or even longer, but COVID made it not a thing because it's port kid intensive, right? So they've had to make do with what they have, so. And I can understand that, and they still may be rushing it because there are places that you can't get out, but it's either put it out or try to figure something else out that they don't have ready yet.
Okay, let's play a last chamber with Pazuzu. So you know, she wasn't looking the big on him just because. Oh yeah, I missed your.
Oh shit. That's gonna be fun then.
Oh, you don't do it anymore. That's sad.
Oh, fourth chamber.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Just to say, because things and stuff.
Um,
I read on Reddit, I think, things about the 1920 thing. I don't know if it's true, but it may come from Plotto.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but from him. He's the one that does the data mining, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. What was saying? What did you find on Reddit?
Did I what?
I mean, you said that you read something on Reddit. Like, what did you read?
No, it was the thing that I think it comes from Plotter. I didn't know he was still into that whole mining thing.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there are comments, but I mean, and here's my comment about data mining is like, people get people start getting mad about things that hasn't happened yet. Sometimes with having data mining, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, for example, this thing about the ads, the having to watch ads for things, right? Like, I already read like 2 posts on Facebook of people getting mad with the game about having that, and it's like, we still don't have that. Like, we can't know if they are going to add it or not, or how they are going to add it. Like, there are ways to add it that they are not as bad as someone could think. And I will keep saying, like, if they give me an option of watching an ad for 20 energy, yeah, I will start watching TV, watch 10 ads, have 200 energy, or watch 15 ads, have 300 energy, and then go and play Fortress without having to go out to do ins. I will be happy doing that, to be honest. Like, that will still be better for my use of time than having to go out to recharge on ins.
Yeah, but watching an ad and getting like 100 energy, really?
No, not 100, like 20.
As long as they aren't a mandatory thing, I'm okay with it.
Exactly. As long as they are not mandatory, as long as they are like a bonus that you can get, I will be okay with that. Now, if they are giving green books, that's kind of a pain because
Making it mandatory.
it is
Well, that makes it
not mandatory, but it is mandatory, right? Like it's like.
Officially, it's not mandatory, but for yourself, it will be mandatory. So.
Yeah. And I'll do what I did.
Actually, I play a game where you can get resources that way. I hate it, but I have to do it. So it's mandatory, but I hate it, and yeah, but I mean, I'm sitting on it. Who am I kidding?
But you're doing it anyway, so.
Now, if they give us the option again of pay, like, if you do a buy of $5-10, a one-time thing, and then you can get the benefit from the ads without watching the ads, I will pay it. I don't mind. Because that's something that a lot of games does. And I think if that happens, it will be kind of broken, right? Like, I will be just pressing the watch ads button like all day for
Well,
free things.
and I'll do what I've done in other ones, is I'll turn the sound off, I'll click watch ad, walk away, come back, redo.
No, but let's say that they give you the option of getting the rewards from watching ads without watching the ads if you pay $5 one time or $10 one time. Which is something that a lot of games have. Like, I will be really just pressing that button as much as I can. Like, I will not care. And in another topic, there will be players that if you can get energy from watching ads is a quality of life improvement. Like, think about all the rural players that needs to leave opening extravagant energy gifts.
I think it would be a great ad. Funny ad. Naja. But for me, it would be like,
Yeah.
I guess for rural players or, yeah.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would be
It
great.
depends. It depends again, as they are saying, if it is mandatory or not. If it is not mandatory, is to get extra energy, to get runestones, etc. I am 100% in because that will help a lot of rural players. Like, it will
Okay, so in
help.
2 hours we come up with a lot of fucking things they could add, I think.
Yeah, we have 2 hours with a lot of things that they could add. Okay. Now I will go eat my lunch, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for coming. Bye.
See ya.
Hi.
Yeah.